friends, welcome back to Llama Crazy Life. It was a crazy day, a very unexpected day for me. I survived it, but by gosh, I'm tired and wore out and a little bit delusional. I'll tell you about my day. I had a doctor's appointment that was just a follow-up. Remember when I had the big scleroderma flare up on my face 3 weeks ago? And so he had put me on the prednisone and all that kind of stuff, 1 second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had a follow-up appointment with that. So I figured I was just going to go to the doctor and tell him, what else going on with me. He'd lower my prednisone and we'd be on our way. Because I had plans, okay? I had plans for today. Well, okay, so I have been having a pain in my side. It's lower than my feeding tube. It's actually like right here. And what it feels like is as if I have been running. Now, I haven't run in a long time, but I can remember when I have run in the past, and your side will start hurting. I'm looking for a stitch marker. I need to just stick some in this drawer. I have one. I just gotta find it. So anyway, it'll hurt like I have been running, and I have not been running. I can promise you that. And so it'll come. The pain is there, but it'll get really intense, and then it'll ease up to like almost nothing, but just a little bit to let me know that, hey, don't forget about me. And so I have tried my best to ignore it all that I can, but then when it flares up and it gets so bad, I get nauseated because the pain is so bad. And so this morning at 2 a.m., it was hurting me so bad. I was so nauseated. I'm sorry, I'm looking for a stitch marker. And the pain was so bad. I knew I had some in here. That I ended up taking Zofran because I was just going to throw up any minute. And I ended up taking Zofran at 2 a.m. this morning. The pain finally did ease up. I got in the bed, but I didn't actually go to sleep. I laid there petting Sassy and just watching my tablet. And then finally it was like 7 a.m. and hey, I gotta get up and, well, it was about 6:30. I was just like, hey, I gotta get up and get ready for the doctor. So my doctor's appointment was at 8 a.m. So I get there and, for my appointment at 8, and then he's like, first off, a student doctor came in after I went through triage and got into my little room. The student nurse came in, not student nurse, student doctor, a resident doctor came in. I didn't even need a stitch marker after all that. Came into the room, and so he's asking me about, is there anything I wanted to address today with my doctor? And so I told him about that going on, and he was just like, asking me some questions about it. So then when my doctor came in, this other doctor was actually examining my stomach and kind of mashing around on it a little bit, but not much. But then my doctor mashed it really hard, and I like to come up off that table. And then he was like, asking me about did I see the gynecologist and all that? And I was like, yes. And I gotta wait till I saw her last month, and I gotta wait till this month to get an ultrasound. And he was like, a month? And my husband, my doctor is, he's like one of the medical chief things over the hospital. Like, he is a big person in the hospital, on the board and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I was like, yeah, we're working by the month up here. And he said, you're going to the ER, we're speeding this up. I was like, okay, whatever. So he sent me to the ER. And he called down there and he told them, you know, things to look for, what he wanted done and all that. The nurse took me to the ER by wheelchair. She signed me in and all that, and they got me right on back in there and got my stuff going. Got my an IV going right here in my chest port. So that was nice that I didn't have to get all the sticks all over my arms, you know, trying to find the vein and all that. So thankful that I do have that option. And then I finally got over to get a CT scan with the contrast dye. I'm sorry, I'm kind of just dragging this out a little bit. I'm trying to think. And so anyway, then the results come back from that, and blood work and urine and all that kind of stuff. So I still have a bit of a UTI, and if you will recall, I've had 3 UTIs back to back over the past few months. And also I have the cyst that I am saying I had evidence that the cyst busted. They say the cyst is still there on my left ovary. And I have diverticulitis, or lotus, diverticulosis, whatever, going on too. So that's a lot going on. No wonder I got pain down there, right? It could be any of those things. Like, they can't pinpoint, is the cyst causing that? Is a UTI causing that? And that's where, you know, like my tubes, urinating tubes, urethras, I don't know what you call them. Is that where that tube is on that side? Or is it diverticulitis? Like, seriously, it could be any of those things, right? So she decided, I seen a nurse practitioner in the ER, and I loved her. She was so nice. I love nurse practitioners. I really do. So she decided, we talked about, you know, well, this is like my 3rd UTI back to back. And she's just like, you know, what medicine you taking for it? And I'm just finishing up a round of microbid. And so she said, is that what they gave you every time? And Jody spoke up and said, yes, that this is her 3rd time to take that. And she's like, okay, we need to do some different antibiotics, you know, whatever. So they decided to keep me all day. Thankfully, they did not keep me all night. I would have been trying to break out of there. But they kept me and put me on antibiotics through the IV. So they run a couple different antibiotics through my IV today. And hopefully that's going to kickstart, you know, because when you get it in an IV form, you kind of get it in your system faster than just pills by mouth or injection or, you know, whatever. So I did get a prescription for antibiotics to also start, but tomorrow. But this kick-started it into my system today. So hopefully I will get some relief. But I'm telling you, it is hurting right now. Like, not so unbearable that I can't stand it, but not so light that I, you know, barely can tell it's there. It is hurting probably about a I have a hard time putting numbers on it. When you live in chronic pain, it's hard to say. It's hard to say a number on it because my pain tolerance and pain level in chronic pain is not the same as someone else experiences, I think. So I'm going to say it's probably like about a 5 right now, a 4 or 5 probably. It's hurting, it's very uncomfortable, but I can still function. So anyway, so that's what I'm dealing with. And so I spent the whole day at the hospital. They let me out late this afternoon, and I was glad because I did not want to stay. I didn't want to stay. I just wasn't prepared. You know, I mean, if they had said I had to, I would have, but it's not something I wanted to do. But anyway, so that's what was going on with me today. Ruined my whole plans for today, but that's okay. I want to get better, get this antibiotic going in here, and hopefully the antibiotics will clear up something, whether it's the UTI or the diverticulitis. I don't know if an antibiotic will clear up a cyst, but so they put me in a referral to see the gynecologist sooner than I'm supposed to see her. I think I'm supposed to see her back on the 22nd, and they said, well, you need to see her before then. I'm like, well, it's the appointment they gave me, And then the nurse practitioner was like, when's the last time you had a colonoscopy? And I was like, I've never had one. And she's like, what? How old are you? And she's like fussing at me, and I'm like, well, it's not like I can just march down there and tell them I'm here for a colonoscopy. Somebody has to order the darn thing. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, that's true. So she put me in to see the surgery team to get a colonoscopy. Yeah, I'm not excited about that. But one good thing about it, I will not have to drink all that nasty mess. I can just put it through my feeding tube. So that will be a plus about the whole thing, right? So I don't have to drink that nasty mess, because I don't know if I could get it down, to be honest. But it'll still be an ordeal, I'm sure. Okay, so what am I making here on Crochet WIP Wednesday? Well, Shay K. Ray Crochet said, have you thought about crocheting tubey pads? No, it never crossed my mind. And so, if you did not see early this morning, I had filmed it yesterday afternoon. I had a video about my feeding tube supplies, just some feeding tube information, because when I was getting a feeding tube, I searched for some information and couldn't find a lot out there. So I want to, put out a couple of videos here and there, not real heavy, but I do want to put out some videos about my health conditions, explaining things, and just giving some information. So if somebody's out there searching for information, that, they can find a video about it. Because when I was looking for feeding tube information, I just couldn't find that much out there. So anyway, so Shay K. Ray Crochet asked me, had I thought about crocheting tubey pads? And I showed on my video this morning. It's a circle with a line cut in it. It's basically what it is. It's like a split circle, like a 4x4 split gauze, except this is a circle, and it could be a square. It don't matter what shape it is. But anyway, and I was like, no, I never thought of that. The ones I have either been ordered on Etsy or Amazon, and a lady on Etsy made them. And she just used some scrap flannel that she had, and that was cool. The color of it does not matter to me, not one bit or anything like that. And actually the softness of it doesn't matter, because it's not really on my skin at this point right now, really. I put a dressing next to my skin, and then I put either a gauze, a 4x4 split gauze, or right now I'm putting the spongy healing stuff on it. I took a sheet of that was a square and cut it in fours, and I'm splitting that so I can use that one square like 4 times. I cut it in 4 pieces, so I throw each one away when I use it. But it made 4 of these squishy pads. But that pad is hydrocellular. I don't know. It's a medicated type thing. I think it might even have like some alginate silver in it or something like that, or at least some alginate, if not silver. Anyway, it's not important. So, and then I put a tubey. Let me see if I got one on. Like, what have I got on here? Oh, this is the second time I've showed you this today. But then I put the circle on, and see, it's over all that. And there's a bumper on my pad, and that's to keep that bumper from hitting all that raw skin that's around my tube right now. So that's why I have the thick spongy on there plus this. But I usually wear this anyway. Like if I just wear a 4x4 split gauze, I still put this on there on top of that. And it just helps absorb some of that yuckiness. And so it doesn't really have to be soft. Like the lady who made these made them with flannel. But so when Shay Ray Crochet asked me if I had made them, I'm like, no. And then she mentioned Kaboo, I think, said that would be really soft. But actually, it doesn't need to be soft. But I have some kitchen cotton. Okay, it feels a little roughish, like kitchen type stuff. But once you wash these, they are soft. But even if it doesn't end up that soft, it still doesn't really matter because it's not touching my skin, right? So I was just like, I could crochet these. So that is what I'm doing right now. That is my WIP Wednesday project. So thank you so much for mentioning that, because I would not thought of it. Like, I don't know. Just like I never thought of wearing a headband until you wonderful people, suggested that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can wear a headband. And then, and I just never thought of this. I never thought about crocheting a split circle, but I think that might be ending up too split. I just did 6 single crochets, and then I increased each one and made it 12 single crochets. I didn't connect because I'm trying to leave that little gap. And then, so now I'm going back and I increased, did an increase, two single crochets in one single crochet in one, 2 single crochets. And now I just did the increase and then 2 single crochets. So on this one, I'm going to do, this row, I'm going to do increase and then 3 single crochets between each increase. So that's what I'm doing right now. She just mentioned that to me today, and I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. So, yeah, that's my WIP for today. So what is your WIP for Crochet WIP Wednesday? What have you been working on today? If you didn't crochet, that's fine. What did you work on? What did you do today? Tell me about your day. I hope you didn't spend it at the hospital like I did. I hope you didn't spend it at the hospital like I did, that's for sure. I am glad that he, was a kind of aggressive and sent me on down to the ER. But at the same time, it just wasn't my plans. But we'll make it. Sometimes I need to be more flexible with my plans. Like, I guess I am, because I never know how I'm going to wake up, my plans and all that. But 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then So anyway, but we didn't talk about my face or what's going on with that or anything else, because he was just like, you're going to the ER. And he sent me right on to the ER. So we didn't talk about my prednisone. Am I decreasing it or what? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing with that. Because surely I wouldn't just drop off of it without tapering down. That's a no-no. So I don't know. I don't know. And I didn't even get a return appointment to come see him. Normally at the end of the, he says, okay, we want to see you back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or, whatever, a month, whatever he says. But we never even had that conversation. They were just wheeling me out of there and taking me to the ER. And, I did tell him, that it was hurting really bad this morning at 2 a.m., but at the time I was sitting in his office, it was barely hurting. So, I did tell him all that. But anyway, I'm messing up on this because I can't count and talk at the same time. But anyway, I think that's going to be a pretty big split in there. But I think what I can do, I can come back and after I get this made and get it big enough, I think I could come back and just do some single crochets. I could single crochet all the way around it and come in and try to fill this in with some single crochets to close that gap just a little, right? That's probably what I'll do. I'll try it. See if it works. If it don't, no big deal. Rip it out. Make a wash rag. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to work on and just try to make me up some little tubey pads. Never thought of it. I'm drinking some sweet tea from the store, and it's watered down and it's not tasting so great right now. But guys, yeah, I hope that some of these antibiotics does kick in and carry this on out of my body and let me heal up from this. Like, yeah, I did not need diverticulitis. Like, got enough I'm dealing with, enough going on. So I appreciate your prayers today. I did post on my community a silly picture of me sitting there in the hospital room, in the ER room, and I appreciate your prayers so very much. That was just so sweet of you guys. I know I can always depend on you guys for prayers, and that really means a lot to me. Just your thoughts and prayers, knowing your thoughts and prayers are there with me while I'm, going through a tough time is very comforting. So I appreciate that very, very much. So anyway, it is getting pretty late in the evening. I mean, it's like, I don't know what time. It's pretty late, probably maybe about 8 o'clock by now. So I'm going to try to upload this little video without editing it or anything like that, and get it out there just to let you guys know that I'm okay. I'm just dealing with some, issues that I don't want to deal with. But hopefully I'll be on the mend soon. Well, guys, my week has not went like I wanted it to at all. Like, everything is just, my plans are just, my planner, I gotta put sticky notes over everything and rearrange my week because it has not went like I thought it was going to. And I told you in another video that lots of times I have to go with plan B, plan C, because my plan A does not work out a lot. And that's just the way it is for me. But I'm going to let you all go, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet no matter what. But I'm going to bed soon and get me a little nappy nap. And then I'm going to get up and try to record the rest of Ursula's body Like, you gotta be home to do these things. And so I'm going to try to record the rest of her body and probably try this. I'll let y'all know how that turns out. I got to redo this row because I got off count. And then I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Can't remember what tomorrow's video is about. I can't remember, but I'll be back. I'll be back. You'll see me again. These animals are just like, because I've been gone since like 7:30 this morning, and the animals are just like, Mama's home, Mama's home. But I will see you guys later. Bye, friends.